Hello everyone, we are now going to discuss the modern approaches to the study of public administration. This is part 2 of the lecture on the approaches to the study of public administration. In the first lecture, part 1, we talked about two traditional approaches, which were the philosophical approach and the historical approach. Now, under the modern approaches, we have the behavioral approach and the comparative administration approach. In this part 2 of the lecture, we will be talking about the behavioral approach, and in the next lecture, that will be part 3, we will talk about comparative administration approach. Okay. Now coming to the behavioral approach, which is the first approach under the modern approaches to the study of public administration. Now the behavioral approach is an influential approach in the study of social sciences, and its focus is mainly on human behavior in various settings, and often it is described as behavioral revolution or behavioral movement. It started in the 1930s and the 1940s and has gained increasing recognition after the Second World War. Now the behavioral approach basically focuses its study on the behavior of human beings in the organization. Now this behavioral approach came about as a protest against the traditional and classical approaches. Now the classical approach emphasized the formal structure of organization, but it did not give any importance to the human element. It did not explain the behavior of the people working in the organization. The behavioral approach therefore seeks to replace the formal structure of organization with a more realistic description of how people really behave in the organization. And so therefore the behavioral scientists make efforts to understand why officials, why public employees act as they do. They try to explain the behavior of human beings in terms of their attitudes, in terms of their sentiments, in terms of their motives, in terms of their desires and their aspirations as individual employees and as part of the informal group relationships which they form within the organization. Okay, so they believe that a full understanding of administration can only be achieved by seeing the organization as a social system, as a system in which people come together to achieve common purpose, and when they come together they form relationships among themselves, which we call informal organization. Hence the behavioral scientists lay emphasis on the informal relationships and the informal communications among the people working in an organization. And so therefore the behavioral approach it tries to study public administration by studying individual and collective human behavior. Collective human behavior is a group behavior in administrative situations. It believes in using or utilizing interdisciplinary approach to solve administrative problems. Now what do you understand by interdisciplinary approach? It means borrowing the knowledge and the resources from other subjects, other disciplines to understand administrative problems and to solve them. Okay, now what are the other subjects? The other subjects are sociology, which is the study of the development, the structure and functioning of the human society; psychology, which is a scientific study of the human mind, which would be very important if you want to understand human behavior; and cultural anthropology, which is a study of human societies and cultures. So borrowing the knowledge from other disciplines like sociology, psychology and cultural anthropology to understand administrative problems, and that is why we say behavioral approach is an interdisciplinary approach. Okay, and the behavioral approach originated in the United States, and this approach focuses on the actual behavior of persons and groups in the organization. Now the behavioral approach has certain characteristics. First of all, it rejects the traditional classical approaches to the study of administrative problems. Now the traditional classical approaches are often called mechanistic approach. Why do we call them mechanistic approach or machine approach? Because the classical approaches thought of the organization as a machine, and the human beings were regarded as parts in a machine. Okay, and the human element, their attitudes, their sentiments, their behavior was totally ignored by the traditional and classical approaches. They focus only on the formal organization. Okay, and so therefore the behavioral approach rejects the traditional classical approaches, because they said that the human element is very, very important. You need to study them. You need to study the behavior of human beings working in the organization in order to identify and solve administrative problems. And secondly, the behavioral approach gave more importance, increased importance to the individual, and the relationships that he has with the administrative organization, while taking into account the different aspects of the personality of the workers and his relationships within that organization, rather than the formal organization. So increased attention to the individual in administration is based on more realistic research concerning motivation, how to motivate human beings in the organization so that he contributes more to the organization. It also gives importance to decision making processes. How are decisions made in the organization? What are the factors that influence decision making processes? And also the nature of authority. What type of authority will be useful for the organization? Should the authority be very strict, or should he encourage a participative environment wherein he consults his subordinate in the process of decision making? Okay, and nextly, the behavioral approach gave importance to the informal organization. That is, the behavioral approach lays emphasis on the study of small groups in the organization, which are formed because of relationship between human beings working in the organization. So the various behavioral studies confirm that groups are more important than formal structure in determining the behavior of employees, because these informal relationships formed by people working in the organization provide the employees with the most important rewards of organizational life. And what are these rewards? Friendship, support, security, esteem, and one's own sense of identity. All of these factors are provided by the informal relationships that he forms with other people working in the organization. And so therefore, the behavioral scientists apply methods, tools, and findings of psychology, the knowledge of psychology and sociology and cultural anthropology, in an effort to secure a better understanding of informal group behavior in the organization. And next, administrative organization is considered as a social system which consists of a complex combination of human relationships. So under the traditional classical approaches, the only recognized means of communication were the formal orders and circulars which were given by the superior to the subordinates, and the subordinates had to report back to their superior formally. But under the new approach, under the behavioral approach, the informal means of contact and communication katya an thoho na khan trianan in siama relationship an lo siam ta khata khan an in coma, they communicate among themselves informally, verbally. Kami informal communication they receive as much importance as the formal means of communication. Okay, now this behavioral movement or behavioralism came to public administration through the human relations movement or approach, which had its origin in the Hawthorne studies of 1927 to 1932. We are going to study about this Hawthorne studies, human relations movement in paper 2 in a more detailed manner, but I just want to introduce you to this concept. Okay, here human relations movement, it came about because of Hawthorne studies, which was conducted by Harvard scientists for 8 years in one very big company in America. Okay, and the findings of this Hawthorne experiments was that there was a informal organization, so many informal organizations that were created within the formal organization, and this had a very, very important influence in the working of the formal organization. Ka informal organization mo mishing le mishing thokho ta chu kami relationship anne kami te ka informal organization kami ka apoi mo lu to ka. And unless you understand the working of the informal organization, you cannot understand the real administrative problems within that organization. And understanding the informal organization will give you solutions to the problems in the organization. So This Hawthorne studies, which led to human relations movement, led to the behavioral movement in social science and in public administration. And like I said, the Hawthorne studies revealed the importance of informal organization, and it led to the emergence of the behavioral approach in public administration. And the behavioral approach has greatly motivated research and theory construction in administration, and it has widened the scope, it has widened the horizon of the study of public administration. And this behavioral approach can be used for analyzing organizational behavior of people, members working in the organization, and it is very useful in studying policy formulation and decision making processes, and in this respect it can provide useful knowledge for developing the theory of public administration. And with that, I will end this second part of the lecture on approaches to the study of public administration. In the third lecture, in the next lecture, we will talk about the comparative approach to public administration. Thank you so much for your time, for your patience. Thank you.